Just listen. Mark Goulston. The biggest communication mistake. Most people think communication is about speaking clearly, choosing the right words, making strong arguments, explaining ideas effectively. But just listen begins with a surprising truth. People do not listen because your logic is perfect. They listen because they feel understood. And until someone feels understood, they rarely become open to understanding you. This changes everything. Because persuasion is not a speaking skill first. It is a listening skill. Why people stop listening? Think about the last argument you witnessed. Both sides probably had facts. Both sides probably believed they were right. Yet neither side changed their mind. Why? Because people rarely resist information. They resist feeling dismissed. The moment someone feels attacked, judged, ignored, or misunderstood, their defenses rise. And once defenses rise, listening ends. The need behind every conversation. Human beings want many things. Success, respect, achievement. But beneath all of these lies a deeper desire. To feel heard. Not tolerated. Not corrected. Heard. People often become emotional not because nobody agrees with them, but because nobody truly understands them. Listening creates influence. Most people try to earn influence by proving themselves, showing expertise, demonstrating intelligence, winning debates. But influence follows a different path. People trust those who listen. People open up to those who understand. People follow those who make them feel seen. Influence grows from connection, not domination. The hidden power of empathy. Empathy is often misunderstood. People think empathy means agreeing with everyone. It doesn't. Empathy means understanding someone's experience without immediately judging it. You can disagree completely and still understand. In fact, genuine understanding often makes disagreement more productive, because the conversation becomes less about winning and more about discovering truth. Why logic often fails. We like to believe humans are rational, but most decisions are emotional first. Logical second. People feel before they think. And if emotions are ignored, logic struggles to get through. This explains why fact alone rarely change minds. People need emotional connection before intellectual persuasion. The desire to be right. One of the biggest obstacles to communication is ego. The need to prove, I'm right. The moment this becomes the goal, listening disappears. You stop seeking understanding. You start seeking victory. And conversations become competitions. The irony is that the harder people try to win, the less influence they often have. Connection before correction. When someone is upset, advice usually fails. Correction usually fails. Criticism definitely fails. What works first is connection. Acknowledging feelings. Recognizing frustration. Showing understanding. Only after connection comes correction. People accept guidance from those who first make them feel understood. The fastest way to build trust. Trust is not built through impressive words. It is built through attention. Real attention. Listening without interrupting. Listening without preparing your response. Listening without trying to control the conversation. Most people are starved for this kind of attention. And because it is rare, it becomes powerful. The problem with modern conversations. Modern communication rewards speed. Quick opinions. Quick reactions. Quick judgments. But meaningful conversations require something slower. Presence. Patience. Curiosity. The ability to remain interested instead of immediately becoming defensive. Why people become difficult. We often label people as difficult, stubborn, unreasonable, Impossible. But Goulston suggests a different perspective. Many difficult people are simply people who feel unheard. The more ignored they feel, the louder they become. The more dismissed they feel, the more resistant they become. Understanding this changes how you approach conflict. Listening is a competitive advantage. In business, in leadership, in relationships, most people are trying to be impressive. Very few are trying to understand. This creates an opportunity. The person who listens often learns more, builds stronger relationships, and earns greater trust. Listening becomes a strategic advantage. The courage to stay curious. Curiosity sounds simple, but it becomes difficult when emotions are involved, especially when you strongly disagree. Curiosity requires restraint, the willingness to ask, what am I missing? What is this person experiencing? What matters to them? These questions open doors that arguments often close. The difference between hearing and listening. Hearing is automatic. Listening is intentional. Hearing captures words. Listening seeks meaning. Most conversations happen at the hearing level. The strongest relationships happen at the listening level. People remember how you make them feel. Years later, people often forget specific details. They forget exact words, exact explanations, exact arguments, but they remember feelings. They remember whether they felt respected, valued, understood. That emotional memory often shapes relationships more than any individual conversation. Influence without manipulation. The book is not about tricks. It is not about controlling people. It is about creating the conditions where communication becomes possible. Because influence grows naturally when trust exists. And trust grows naturally when people feel understood. The most important conversation skill. Many communication books teach speaking, presentation, persuasion, debate. Just listen teaches something deeper. The ability to make another human being feel genuinely heard. And in a noisy world, that skill becomes extraordinarily rare. Just Listen delivers a simple but transformative message. People don't want perfect answers first. They want understanding first. The fastest way to change a conversation is not to speak louder, not to argue harder, not to prove more. It is to listen better. Because when people feel understood, they lower their defenses. When defenses disappear, trust appears. And when trust appears, real communication finally begins. In the end, the people with the greatest influence are not always the best speakers. They are often the best listeners. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Like if this message made you feel heard. Comment. Who is someone you wish understood you better? Subscribe for book insights that improve your life and relationships. Share this with someone who needs to hear this today.